regular programming to bring you a message from Her Majesty's government. Please stand by and await further information. This is not a drill. They have arrived.
Beasley Workwear now proudly sponsors Trade Legends. Do you remember everybody's name as well, Pete? Do you need me to tell you everybody?
John?
No.
It's Gary, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Don't tap the desk.
Is it John?
We're filming.
Is it John? It's John.
Yeah.
John.
Did you get it? Fucking yeah.
He loves those little outtakes.
Love it. Absolutely love it. These are the best bits. Love that.
Right.
Where's he from though, Pete?
Oh, I don't know. Wales.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let me guess. 3 hours. Newport.
That's ridiculous. Don't ever say that.
He's like that.
If anyway you could have said it should never be Newport. And there's one more. If you say the other one, I'm off. Don't
So
say
it's not.
Don't say Merthyr
so-
fucking Tidville.
No, it's not. So it's not.
Or
It's not
don't-
Cardiff.
You're getting closer. Don't say it.
Bridgend.
No.
3 hours.
where do you think he's going to say, Pete?
Where else do I know in Wales?
You need to move more over.
Don't say that word.
Think Swansea.
Don't say that word.
I'm just trying to think where else I know in Wales.
You've got sat nav in your head. have you?
Llandudno.
How'd you get that?
Is it?
Oh. So, I don't know where that is. That's North Wales, isn't it?
That's what I do.
This is with 3 hours. Or 2 hours 58 gets you to Llandudno.
Next he'll be saying fucking...
2 minutes from Llandudno.
Next he'll be saying Wrexham. Wrexham.
I've been to is Monmouthshire on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been quad biking.
How long did that take you?
2 hours.
Hour after that then.
Okay.
2 hours from Leicester.
Yeah. Well, Loughborough.
Takes me fucking ages to get to Wild, wherever I am. Takes me fucking ages. Even if you're in Wales and you
I want to go to is it the waterfall walk where there's 4 waterfalls on a walk right in the middle of Wales somewhere? Where's that? Do you know where that is? I'll do that soon.
Has he got the right Scotland in it? Aberystwyth is one of the longest drives I've ever been off. Fucking hell. That's a long drive to Aber.
Walk. Wales.
The phone.
Love this now. Scotland.
I've never heard of it.
4 waterfalls walk is
Bristol.
no. Can't say the name. Squid Clun Gwyn. It's near
Make him fucking say it.
What?
Squid Clungeling.
I've never heard of it.
it's at the bottom of the Brecon Beacons
Squid-
and it's near
Squid Games.
Merthyr Tydfil, Aberdare,
You don't want to go down there.
Hywine,
Wine.
How,
Glynneath,
Glenneath.
Abercraft.
before we start, I think we need to have a Welsh.
Abercraft. It's near Abercraft.
That's where I'm from.
Carmarthen.
Yes.
Yes.
It's been on the sat nav 3 hours. Well, dude. Yeah, come on then, yeah.
Hey Google, list me places in Wales.
3 hours a week.
Carmarthen, yes! Carmarthen. Oh,
So I went to.
where's the 4 waterfalls anyway? Did we find
I
out?
just said to you, yeah.
Never heard of it.
Brecon Beacons National Park near Merthyr Tydfil. So I went to Hereford once.
That's not in Wales.
It's not in Wales.
But it's on the edge, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like,
but it's not Wales.
so someone said to me this one time, he said,
Is it in Wales? No.
he wanted,
so.
he wanted me to go and cut the ribbon at a plumber's merchant's. It was a new merchant's, and he wanted to go and cut the ribbon. And I said no.
Is we finished or?
I said no. But I will come down and like spend the day there and do some stuff. And he said it's in Wales. So I just assumed it was somewhere near where I'd already been, which was wherever I just said. Hour and a half tops, and it was like 3.5 hours away. It was in Cardiff. It took me absolutely ages to get there. 4 hours.
Whew, thank God I know that now. Honestly, can't wait to get back to the hotel, have a kip. That's ridiculous. We've gone from where do you live? To the whole of Wales to Hereford about a place got a ribbon from Plumbington. I hope this is how it's going to go.
In the end, they got a professional footballer from Cardiff United to cut the ribbon.
Cardiff United. Oh, that professional team. Yeah, I know him. Yeah. That was it's a great start.
Look, I'm actually crying.
It's a great start, to be honest.
4 waterfalls, Cardiff City.
Cardiff United. And
that's the one.
And cutting a ribbon at a plumber's do.
PhD.
He only asked you where I live.
Oh, God. Fucking hell. Did we find out where you lived?
Near
Well,
Bristol.
Google said 3 hours. Said Carmarthen when he checked. Yeah, it's just past Carmarthen.
Near Bristol.
St Clair's is called.
God.
Lovely part of the world.
PHC have actually got plumbers merchants in Wales. Though.
PhD was the branch where they wanted me to cut the ribbon. See?
You
didn't cut
do you
it,
have to do these ribbon cuttings?
Did you cut it?
No, that's the
It's just
point.
not even a
I said
story.
no.
If you cut it, there's a story
I
there.
thought he cut it.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get me all excited and then tell me you ended up in Carmarthen
What a
and you
shit
didn't cut
story
a ribbon.
that.
Fuck it.
They wanted me as well, but I never did either.
You couldn't find it because it's in Hereford.
It's 3 hours away.
Behave.
Oh, God. How long did that go for?
Too long.
Okay, now. Right, should we start anyway? Do you want to start tonight?
No, you start.
I've got John from Hereford.
Don't bang the table.
Give me a second.
Right. Oh, God. I'll tell you what, outtakes are going to be great on this. Absolutely great. So, here we are, Season 2, Episode 3 in Season 2, but in the overall grand scheme of things, it's Episode 11. And we are
It's good info. Good to know.
happily joined by, we've got Jen the Decorator.
Hello.
Hi, Jen.
You decorated, you?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
No one ever told you, did they? She lives in Hereford.
A plumber? I didn't know, actually. I thought you were one of these guys.
Oh.
Yeah. What you decorate?
Houses mostly.
It's very good.
Met your type many a time.
Don't get any of your work out because you'll be inspecting it.
Yeah, I know.
And we've got John from... Where are you from, John?
Hereford. No, Carmarthen.
Carmarthen. New home quality
Control.
control. There you go. Also known as absolutely
Shocking.
shocking. So, yeah, very big welcome to both of you. Really pleased to get you both on. Jen,
Thank you.
first decorator.
I'm the first, am I?
You are the first. So you've popped
Flying the flag.
You've popped the
I've got
cherry
the cherry.
for painting and decorating, or decorating, because it sounds a bit better than painting. We've
Well,
had
you
a few
don't like
people.
being called painters, do you?
I
Because
think,
that's only one part of the job.
yeah, painters is more of an American sort of way.
Yeah.
They call themselves painters, and a decorator over there is like an interior designer. Whereas over here it's different.
So you class yourself as an interior designer, do you, Jen?
Well, I do help pick colours.
Colour schemes. So yeah, really happy to have both of you on, and the reason being is, you know, TikTok sensation.
Yep, safe
I
to say.
could put it down at that. How many followers on TikTok?
425,000, something like that.
Absolutely unbelievable that is.
Good effort.
I know, needs to teach me and you something.
I've seen your.
I love the videos, I do. I
yeah.
show all my friends them.
I know, when I told her he was coming on, she was so excited.
Most people are.
That's why she got that picture out. So, who should we start with then, Pete? Who should we get into?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Jen.
Okay.
I'll digress over to you, Pete.
Okay.
Where are you from?
So, well,
How far away is it? It was 3 hours as well. That's
Yeah,
the funny thing.
what we normally do is we ask
We've
people.
met many times though.
Yeah, we've met at trade
another
shows,
show.
and I followed you on Twitter. Was the first one I
Yeah, it was,
saw you
yeah.
on.
Followed me around the street.
He stalks you across
Down
all
the
social
road.
media. Pete, you shouldn't admit
Yeah.
this stuff on the show.
So just tell us
In the DM.
where you started your career, why you got into painting and decorating, and yeah, just give us your story really.
Give us the very start, because some people, they sort of go, oh yeah, well I went into this and it was 20. Like, so obviously left school.
I went into this as an adult.
Yeah.
I went back into learning. Oh, sorry, I banged the table.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it.
When I was younger, I went to the Kent Institute of Art and Design to do interior design and things like that. But then my children were young, and then I moved back home to where I'm from, Hertfordshire. And I was just working retail, things like that. And I thought, you know, I want to get back to what I was doing. I wanted to go back into architecture side. So I was due to start a course, an AutoCAD course, just so that I could get in an architect, like as an apprentice or older apprentice. Went to the college, and they discontinued the course because there wasn't enough people interested in it. So I basically was like, okay, what have you got then? And they was like, we've got P&D. I went, all right then.
Did you even know what P&D was?
Well, yeah. And they took me around, and I spoke to the tutor, and they'd already started sort of, this was in November, so they'd already started September. And he was like, if you think, you know, you could catch up, then you can start on Monday next week. And I was like, fine, all right then.
Yeah. How long did you do that for then?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. And then I set up Jennifer Gardner Interiors sort of straight after. And
How old are you at this point?
31, I think, when I went back to college,
Yeah.
30 or 31.
And
yeah.
when you joined the college, do you have to have an employer, or do you just go to college to learn it? Do you have to do it
Yeah,
alongside
just-
working for someone?
No, but lucky for me, my tutor already, on the weekends and bank holidays and half terms, he was doing his decorating work on the side. So
Yeah.
he had me working on the cheap for him on the weekends and in the summer holidays and things like that. So I got my on-the-tools training sort of from my tutor.
Okay.
And
So
then-
you start your business. I mean, one thing that we always have on here is like trying to listen to how people actually grow a business. Because for you, if you're doing jobs on the side, did you pick up repeat business from working with your tutor, or was it literally you went out then and you had to find
yeah, just
your own work?
Yeah, just went out and found my own work. Yeah.
So how did you go about that?
I set up a Facebook business page, and that was it. Just went from there, really.
So social media.
Social media, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had to pay for advertising once, and all my work is based on personal recommendations.
Because we have this conversation. I have a few people, like I said to you before, the amount of people sometimes that come through in the comments on YouTube or through Spotify, social media, and they always go to me, oh God, you talk about social media a lot. But the one thing that surprises me that people don't seem to listen to on every show is nobody advertises. You know, they don't have to advertise because they're putting their work on there,
Yeah,
so
exactly,
people come to them. I mean, would you say then Facebook was more beneficial for you than what you're obviously on Instagram now? You were on Twitter.
I was on Twitter first, yeah. My Instagram was like a personal account, but then as soon as I started the business, started posting work and products I was using and things on Twitter, I then changed my Instagram to a business account and went on there. But I hadn't really, I've got a couple of jobs through Instagram.
But your main thing's through Facebook.
And one or two through Twitter, but yeah, through my business page on Facebook. So I get it all.
But you're probably the first one actually that said Facebook's probably more beneficial for them. I mean, you started off on Twitter, didn't you?
Yeah.
Started off on Twitter, moved from Twitter to
Instagram.
Insta.
Yeah.
See, I've like for work actually, we've got Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And I always found that Facebook, it was a bit like, I suppose if you're a local trades
Instagram's
person,
newer,
Yeah.
and Twitter was newer for a lot of maybe, you know, elderly people, and a lot of people wasn't really on Instagram and Twitter for those things to look for trades.
Because I tend to find sometimes when I'm looking for a tradesperson to come round is you go on your local sort of, I don't know, Knoll and Dorridge group and you ask for recommendations. So is that somewhere that you...
Yeah, I do get tagged a lot in those pages, yeah. My local pages.
Yeah, that's what Facebook to me is like.
Yeah.
In the past, you would ask a family member or ask your neighbour, do you know a good plumber, do you know a decorator? Now people don't really talk to the neighbours. They go on Facebook and they'll just put a post, does anyone know a decorator? And then people will just tag you in, people who've used you in the past. And then you've got a page, I guess, on Facebook with pictures of work you've done,
Yeah.
and they can look at that and say, yeah, I like that, and
Yeah.
go from there.
And I've got my reviews on there and
Yeah,
things like
reviews
that,
as well. That's the way the
I'm
world's
part
going.
of the Guild of Master Craftsmen now.
So what do you have to do to get that?
They just, my name had been brought to their attention
Yeah.
because I think you have to, I don't know if you have to kind of earn it or,
Put yourself forward for it.
yeah, I don't know. I've never put myself forward for it, so I wouldn't know, but they contacted me.
So what does that do for you? As a
It actually hasn't done very much.
if you're listening, sorry, but just don't fuck all for me.
It hasn't actually done very much, no. But I suppose to have that,
Sounds impressive, don't it?
yeah, it does. It sounds impressive to say, oh, you're part of the Guild of Master Craftsmen. But I haven't received any work
Are you
for it
able to
yet.
put it on your website and
The
stuff?
thing
Like
is,
Yeah, you
though,
can use it. You can download the logos. You can have it on your van, on your websites, on your pages, and everything like that.
and you haven't had to pay for that in any way.
Yeah, I did have to pay.
Did you?
Yeah, it was like they came to me, then they wanted paying, but I don't really see any work for it. I haven't yet, and it's been over 6 months now.
I think the thing is when you're a tradesperson, you get regular business. I think that is the best. Like if your work is good, people talk to other people.
Yeah.
So I always think that's the best route. But
Yeah.
for me, like I said, talking about social media on here, I mean for you, like that little catchphrase and stuff now, they're absolutely shocking. Like even I,
everyone knows it.
everybody knows it. So it gives you an opportunity to sort of establish yourself and your own little identity rather than just being, you look on Trusted Trade, like is it Checker Trade or
Yeah.
Trusted Trades or whatever it is, and you can scroll down there and there's no individuality. Like
Yeah.
all you've got is different names,
Yeah.
maybe a few reviews, but you can't really see somebody's work or understand the type of stuff
Yeah,
that they
I
can
think
do.
a few you can put some photos on. I'm not on any of those. I'm on my builder, but I don't use it.
You got your Facebook page. You're getting your business from Facebook recommendations. You've set your page up with your work, and then I guess you get busy. And then
Yeah, I'm
what's
too busy at the minute.
Too busy.
Yeah.
But you also do, like I know because I followed you for a while. You do a lot of charity work as well, don't you? You
Yeah,
got
I do, yeah.
involved. Did that come through social media, or was that something that you wanted to do?
I think the first one I did was when I did DIY SOS.
Yeah.
And that wasn't through social media. That was like a friend of mine. She was a carpenter, and she was like, "Oh, I'm jumping on this local project.
Yeah.
See if you can get on." So I did, and that was back in the early days when I started. And then I think it was 6 months later, I did another DIY SOS forum as well.
Yeah.
And then I joined Band of Builders, and I've done one charity project through Band of Builders.
Yeah.
I've raised money. I've done like a fun run. I can't think of the name of it now. Bit like Tough Mudder,
Nothing
but
like that.
not as
like
hard.
a wolf run.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I did one of those in London to raise money for band
Yeah.
builders as well, yeah.
And when you were, because I've done a few charity jobs, not like on the level of DIY SOS, but when you're involved in that, you get a really good feeling, don't you? Because there's like everyone on site's buzzing.
I've done a few local ones as well for poorly children
Yeah.
in the area, in the county. I've done a few, decorated their bedrooms and, half the house and things like that. A little girl with spina bifida, a little boy with brain cancer, things like that. Just, it gives you that warm feeling inside
Yeah,
that you're
it is
doing
good.
that you're doing something nice for someone.
But they're not easy to get on. Like the DIY SOS, there's going to be loads and loads of people apply for those. The Band of Builders, they generally look for people in the area of the project, but I think they struggle more to get people, do they?
Well, with Band of Builders, you've got to be in Band of Builders,
Yeah.
registered with them to jump on a project.
Okay.
There's always quite a lot of people always apply within the trades. It's just whether they turn up on the day. That's a different story.
Yeah, because my mate Dave, Waterglow Plumbing, he did a Band of Builders recently, and he was asking.
Dave Bingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dave. I actually made him join Band of Builders.
Okay, so he was asking if anyone was available like tomorrow, basically. So I
Yeah.
guess someone's dropped out or they're struggling.
Yeah, I think it seems to be a running thing because everybody's busy. Every trade is busy right now, and to ask someone to sort of take time out of their busyness, it's quite
Yeah.
hard. Like me now, I can't do a project that's too far away from home because I've got the children there and I'm really busy, so it can't be, I can't take too much time off.
Yeah. But you still do it because you like
Yeah.
the feeling of giving back or helping.
Yeah.
And does that help your business? Because would you like put that on your social media, like on your Twitter? I'm at the Banter Builders, I'm doing DIY SOS. Does that?
I have done. They have been on there,
Yeah.
and I've had people message me to say that they've seen me on there, things like that.
Yeah.
I was on Channel 4 Steph's Packed Lunch the other week for doing things for charity, so I was on there for that.
I mean, the one thing as well that we never really get many ladies come on the show. So I mean, the one thing I want to sort of discuss with you is when you decide you want to go back into this. You've been working in retail. You want to go back into this. You're obviously 31. You say, got kids at that time as well.
Yeah, 2.
Like, how do you juggle going back to retrain to do something, and then obviously the family side of things? Obviously, as a guy, obviously I've got a child myself, but I'll be perfectly honest, my missus does most of it. Now, if you want to go into a trade, it's like you've got to be there early in the morning. You potentially don't leave until late at night.
Yeah.
What I want to discuss with you is like, which I'm sure other ladies who are listening to this might be thinking of having like a career change. Like, how do you juggle that time? Like, how?
It has been difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's been really hard being a single parent and trying to run a business, and being in a trade is even more difficult. Are
customers understanding towards that? Say if you said, look, I've got to leave early to go
I kind of let them know from the start that I'm not an early starter, which a lot of them actually are quite happy with, especially the older ladies and things like that are glad that you're not there at the crack of dawn. But I've always said I do the school run and everything else first. As soon as I've sorted the kids out, done the school run, then I'll be there, give them a rough time. But then if I start late, I'll finish late because I always make sure I get my hours in. That I set an amount of hours in my head that I'm going to do, normally an 8-hour day, sometimes 10, 12-hour days.
How like for anybody that's listening or watching, I mean, there's going to be other people in a similar situation. How do you juggle that? How do you find what works for you? Because some people might be trying it now and thinking, look, I need to just knock this on the head because it's not fitting around me. What advice would you give to somebody to sort of help them, manage their time better if they're in this similar situation to what you were?
I think at the start and starting out, it is really difficult, and you need to put in a lot of time in order to establish yourself first. And then I think now it starts to get easier. Like the longer that you've been doing it, I don't really know that there's an easy way to say that I juggle it really well, and I've got a great work life and a great home life, and I separate them both, but I just don't. It's just not. I think as a mum, it's harder.
Yeah. I mean, do you work weekends as well? Yeah.
I mean, as a rule this year, I'm trying not to work weekends because for the last
2 years,
6 months, I've been working 7 days a week, and I haven't really been seeing the kids.
Yeah. I mean, how like that's another thing is when you're that busy with stuff, you're working weekends as well, like, and you have got kids. Like, how do you explain that to them, or how do you try and make up for always being at work? Because that's something I'm mindful of as well. Is like I'm always at work, or I'm always on my phone doing work. So it's sort of. I
think when they was a little bit younger, it was harder. But I say it's only been over 5 years running a business, and then 2 years at college previous. So it's not like I've been doing it a great deal of time. And they are older. Mine are teenagers now. My son's 18, daughter's 16. So they kind of.
Because it's hard as well coming home doing paperwork. Like I'm sure everybody.
I absolutely detest it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I think everyone does, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I
hate it. I put it off till the last possible moment.
But even having the time, if you're doing a 12-hour day, how do you then come home when you have got kids who are slightly younger than what they are now, and then fit that in? Like, are you doing your own paperwork and stuff like that?
I got a great business partner that does all that. He does everything. Yeah, he does
I've got a sister that does that for me. I've got a sister.
He's great. He does everything. So
yeah.
I pretty much out on the field. He's in the office.
Yeah.
So for me, I haven't got that issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've not got a great work-home life balance at the minute.
But even if you know the sort of issues that you've actually got now, like if you were to step outside, you know how to fix them probably. But if somebody's in that situation now, they probably might not. Like, what would you say to somebody that's listening or watching that is in that situation, thinking, I'm working all these hours, I'm going home, I have to do the paperwork. Have you used software to help you with your paperwork? Have you used...
I do use an app to for my quoting and invoicing and things like that. I think now I'm going to use more of that stuff to make it easier on me. Because I do all my own self-assessments. I do everything myself.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Tax returns,
I
all
do
that
everything,
sort of stuff.
yeah.
Well, this time of year
yeah,
anyway.
I do it all.
Like
so
January.
I think now I'm going to try and take a bit of a step back.
What software do you use, if you don't mind me asking?
The app that I use is Joist.
Joist. Yeah, because it's obviously you use Tradify. Like all of these things, like I get people to mention them. So if somebody's listening, they might think, oh, I'll check that out. And then it might make my life, even if it makes it 5-10% easier and you get like an extra hour a day, that's an extra hour that you could be working or spending with your kids.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of the time when writing quotes out, you're more or less writing the same thing over and over again with regards to explaining what you're going to do for your prep, explaining blah, 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 you know. So you can just copy and paste it from your previous ones and just copy paste it onto everything.
So, ladies and gents, if you want to save big on some big name brands, then Trade Legends is the place to do that. Head on over to www.tradelegends.uk/discount. Well, I'm going to move over to you now.
Good.
I want you to have a little look around. Is everything okay now? Is the build quality all right? Because my carpenter will be listening and he'll be like...
I can't Looks like a plumber's job.
There you go, Nick. He's told you. He's told you. So, just how did you? Because you're the first sort of person we've got from like the building inspection sort of side of things. How did you get into what you were doing, and how did what this is now become what it was? So just take us back to the very start. Like even for you, because obviously you've got a business partner as well.
Yeah.
So even that. How did that lead to that? Like maybe you left at 16 and you did go into business together, but...
Okay, so when I was in school, I always wanted to be a carpenter by trade. I knew that's what I wanted to do. So I left school at 16, went straight into a carpentry apprenticeship. I did that for 3 years. I then stayed as a carpenter, chasing the money around the country, as carpenters do. Around, I would say... 15 years ago, maybe something like that. I then became a site supervisor for carpentry companies, which I quite liked, which obviously then led into contracts manager positions. I was on a particular site in Wales and down in Pembroke for a carpentry company as the contracts manager. I didn't quite get on with the site manager. He was one of them.
Pricks.
yeah, you could say that. I mean, look, away from the site.
He's from Hereford.
Yeah, away from the site, great guy, pranked after work, one of them, lovely guy. Getting back on site, bell end, to be fair, right? So we didn't get on. He was one of them people that always wanted to prove me wrong, and I'm quite a factual person, so I come with facts all the time. He didn't. We didn't get on, and then one particular day, he asked me, he told me I had to do something on a particular property because a customer was going to move in. I said no. I had to hide something. He wanted me to hide something from the customer. I didn't want to do it. Anyway, long story short, I had to do it there and then. I had a wife and kids, and I had to keep my job and stuff. He threatened me with, if you don't do it, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. So I did the job anyway. I couldn't sleep for 10 days. And it's one of them moments where, like, if you have a nightmare, you jump up in bed. I jumped up in bed and I was like, I got to quit my job. This isn't me. I'm quite perfectionist in what I do, so everything I do has to be right. So having done that, it upset me. And I just thought to myself, do you know what? I'm having him, I am. I'm having him and I'm having his boss, because I didn't like the pair of them. So I thought, what can I do about it? And I just thought, you know what? If someone's come around and tell these people how bad things are, can only be a winner. For a small fee. If I said to you, listen, I can tell you what's wrong with your house for this amount of money, are you in? Yeah, you're in, aren't you? Obviously. Everybody would be. That's what I thought. So I spoke to my supervisor at the time and said, look, this is what I'm thinking of doing. Keep it quiet. Are you in? And he's like, 100% I'm in. So we sort of cooked up a plan over about 4 months, something like that. We made a website behind the company we were working for, behind their backs on the quiet. Set up a website, come up with a plan and everything like that. I handed my notice in straight away and said, look, I quit. 2 weeks later, my business partner now, he quit as well. And then we set up this company. We moved straight into an office. Bit premature, I would say, because we were sort of naive, really. I think we thought we were going to be millionaires in the first week. You know what I mean? It was like, this is great, everyone's going to do it, we're going to be billionaires. It didn't work out that way. We went through so many ups and downs, pretty much. You know, we did some stupid things. We bought 25,000, 30,000 leaflets, and I walked the streets for days on end, posting leaflets, never got nothing. Then we did. We had 20,000 letters, right? So we wrote letters on the computer, printed them all out, bought loads of envelopes, folded them all up. It was a letter to the homeowner, pretty much to the homeowner. So you think, oh shit, new house, let's open this. From the developer. Yep. It's me. This is what I do. Do you fancy this?
So were you specifically targeting all
new builds, everywhere, right? So we did this with the letters. We bought a machine to print labels with addresses, and we bought data we went into it. Anyway, we put all these stickers on the top left corner of the letter, paid a courier to deliver them all. The postie starts getting to my house with bags of letters. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, they've been returned. Like 500 a day were coming back. And I was like, this ain't right. So I looked into it. Anyway, he looked into it for me, come back and said, you put the label in the top left corner. We can't post a letter with a label in the top left-hand corner. You can't do it. So they all come back and said, listen, don't bring them back. Just bin them. I don't want them back. So we thought, right, ain't doing that again. And then we joined Facebook.
I mean, what are you thinking at this time then? Because you've just ditched your job and you've spent, how much did it cost you for these?
Yeah,
30,000.
Yeah, it's a few £1,000 after paying people to walk the streets, and me, and hours, and office, and everything that went with the company. And we were doing, if we had 2 inspections a week, we were like, yes, this is it. This is the road. We're going to be millionaires. And then it failed. It didn't work. We stuck at it. We learned more about the business, learned more what we needed to do, how to do it, more of the business itself in regards to what we do, regulations, standards, tolerances, and things like that. We started the Facebook group, or Facebook page, sorry. Started off okay. There's loads of them groups out there where we hate Persimmon and we hate Taylor Wimpey and there's loads of them groups, loads of people on there. Started helping people and putting adverts on there, this is who we are. And all of a sudden it sort of turned nasty. And we think to ourselves, how come other companies that are doing this are not on Facebook? There's got to be something wrong. So having looked at it then, it sort of turned into a negative platform. So if you look at these sort of platforms that just use Persimmon, the Persimmon Homes haters page, whatever it might be called, everybody hates Persimmon. Everybody hates professional snaggers. Everybody hates their neighbour. Everybody hates their husband. It's just hate everywhere. And we're like, we got to get off this. We got to do something about this. We get off it. So we set up Instagram. Totally the opposite. Everyone loves their neighbour. Yeah. Everyone loves the site manager. Everyone loves their house. Can't wait to put a picture up of the bathroom and the bedroom. But no business. What are we going to do now? Anyway, we started doing more inspections because as a company, the more you do, the more recommendations you get, the more business you get, So we started to build slowly. And, we were gradually moving up and thinking, yes, he's going well. We went from like 2 a week to 5 a week to 6 a week to 10 a week. Then we was on, I don't know, say 40 a month as a company. And then one day, we had a new website and we made a free downloadable snag sheet for people to download and have a look yourself. So you...
Like a checklist?
Yeah, download it. Pretty much what we do. Do this, check your own house. Because some people haven't got enough money after they bought their new house. So we thought we'd do that for free and offer some friendly advice. No problem. We did that. That started to go well. And we thought, well, can we add to that? And videos is the obvious one. So we thought we'd make a few videos. It was like, where can we put them? I was clueless. Like, I don't know. Facebook is the only one I knew. I'd never even heard of TikTok. And someone said, oh, TikTok. So obviously on the phone, what's this shit? Are you mad? Is someone's mum and his daughter dancing like a lady? And that's not for me. We're not putting it on air. We're like, no, go on, we'll do it. Anyway, we did it. And I think we put 5 videos on. Pretty shit videos, to be fair. One was an advert. This is what we do. Anyway, the inspector that makes a few of the videos and does some of the voiceovers and things like that, he found something called fake wheat vents. So it's a wheat vent that allows air into your building and moisture to leave the building. And he put a ring shank nail in the wheat vent, and he pulled it out. And he says, "Oh, I'm gonna get this ring shank, gonna get this nail.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Put it in, and I'm gonna pull it out." And it just went wild. People were like, "What do you know? That's a screw." And we're like, "Look, just leave it a minute." And it was going, comment. And we was doing this on the phone, on the account, off the account, on it, 100,000, 200,000, literally like that. And we was like, "That's a glitch. Something's wrong. I can't be doing this." 4, 5, 6, 7, 3.7 million, right?
Jesus.
It just crazy. Over a couple of hours, 3.7 million views,
So
right?
how far into TikTok were you when...
6 videos.
6 videos.
6 videos. And it went
What's
wild.
going on, guys?
Honestly, it went wild, right?
I don't even know how to work it.
Well, you better get on there.
Yeah, I would, yeah. So
I'm on there. I've got like 5 videos. I've got 15 followers.
Well, your 6th video.
So it went viral, and obviously we thought this is great. And after it went viral, the next day the emails just blew up. Like it was booking. And what we found is we're putting the product in front of people that didn't even know about professional snaggers. So on Facebook, they all know because they've all bought a house. They all know about professional snaggers. They all hate you.
And they've all been fucked over.
Yeah, same with Instagram. So it's a platform for new house buyers, isn't it? So the TikTok is not. We put it in front of so many different people that the inquiries and the bookings just went off the scale. So we had to take people on. So now we got inspectors all over the UK.
Did you find that it was because you're targeting maybe TikTok's at more of a younger demographic
This
and
was my
it's
next point, yeah.
first time buyers?
Yeah, so we realised then at very early stage of TikTok that a lot of people that we see are young people, first time buyers, and they've all got TikTok. You know, my mum hasn't got TikTok, but you know, people next door, they're young, they've got it. We've got it. I'm not young, but we've got it. So, you know, and everybody we go and see on a daily basis, out of say 10 to 15 inspections per day, probably 13 of them are young couples. So then we thought, right, this is obviously a platform that's going to work. Let's keep going. We did videos, and then it became influencers, and you have a paid account, and the people coming to you to do videos and podcasts and everything else. And then we started to do. The more videos we did, the more we learned how to get the video across and just be pretty much raw with it, really. Not a production, not nice filming cameras, just as it is, as you see it. And that's
You've
what we
got
continue
YouTube
to
as
do.
well, haven't you?
Yeah, so we did that, and then we started to do the YouTube. YouTube is at a very small stage at the moment, but
It's a different animal, YouTube.
yeah, so money-wise and subscriber-wise, yeah. So we went onto the TikTok, and as you've all probably seen, it's gone wild with 400 and some thousand.
How long was that in? What sort of
February
space?
we did it.
So last year, or the February before?
February just gone now. Last year,
Oh,
started in February.
So come up to a year.
Coming up to a year now. Yeah.
400,000.
Yeah. So the videos, it must be, I don't know, 30 videos that are over 1 million. Some of them 5 million, 4 million. It's ridiculous,
Like
right?
that one recently where there was like, he got a bit angry, that young couple,
Yeah,
over
with the-
255
Yeah.
things wrong with it.
So there's some really ridiculous things, and you know what? We don't make them up. It just happens. And just to make a point on the absolutely shocking thing before we go any further, right? So we never all sat at a table and went, right, what can we do? Let's think of a saying everyone's going to love. It's just what we say from where we come from.
Yeah.
So he just said it one day, and it went wild. And from the TikTok, then we've gone on to YouTube, and to have a YouTube account that's successful, you have to have, I think, 1,500 subscribers to have a paid account. So we put a video on a Saturday, woke up Sunday to 1,800 subscribers off one video.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on now? Anyway, we do that slowly and gradually. We're looking into it more and putting some more time into it. But for me, we've gone from a good stage of our company was 40 inspections a month, to 150, 160. I could probably do more if I had the inspectors.
Yeah, so you treble.
And everybody wants it. Everywhere you go, people know who we are. Everywhere we go, people want to speak to you. Everywhere we go, people know you. And I don't think as a company, though, I say this all the time, as a company and the people that are involved heavily in the company, we don't realise actually how big we are. I mean, look, you guys, you're miles away from where we are. And we had Red Road podcast and the social media things that, like the lady here's done. I've been on the One Show, and I've been in that Fix Radio, been on air 3 times, Radio 5 Live, Daily Telegraph newspaper, Wales Online, Wales on Sunday. Just mental.
I mean, where do you think then that if you hadn't have done the social media thing obviously you were at 40 inspections a day. Do you think you would have been at maybe 60 now, or
Yeah.
like still?
Because we're not putting it in front of that audience, are we? So we'd still be putting it in front of the audience that was slowly growing. You know, two inspections.
The thing that I love about that is you've all gone, like, let's just put it on TikTok, but not actually realising that demographic is the one that you
mental.
Yeah.
It's mental.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
The one idea for you, which I find, like, there's a lady called Fit Waffle. That's her handle on all social, and she just started doing like things about cooking and stuff like that. And even I watch those, and it's just like cooking waffles and chocolate things and stuff like that. But it's for you, you could be teaching people how to do.
It's mad.
It's hard when you don't actually like being in your own videos.
Yeah, but you do.
We're not though.
A lot of the really popular ones, it's where it's like someone's just laying a course of bricks, and because it's satisfying to watch. So you could cut in one stroke with your brush,
or pulling the tape.
So there's a guy.
There's so many people that do it though.
Yeah,
so it's like,
but if you did a voiceover like Nigella,
yes,
I'm just gonna.
I'm in.
I do get told I've got the good voice.
I'll be honest. So Darcy, you came on here, Rattle Kings. Obviously, yes, she's a lady, but she said she appreciated that there's not many ladies doing what she does. So even though like some guys go on there and you still get the, a woman should be in the kitchen type crap thrown at her. Actually, she said, it's to my benefit because even girls come on and go, actually, like, I wouldn't mind doing that job. So she said, like, it's given her that platform.
Yeah, I've seen a few girl bricklayers. I went to a college to judge some awards, and there was a few girls doing bricklaying there. But
do you know the thing is though? So there is other companies on TikTok, just like mine, doing TikTok videos. Been there a lot longer than me. Some been on it for 2 years, I think, doing videos and stuff like that, and probably on 100,000 followers maybe. And his videos get like 50, 60,000 views. So I don't know what it is about ours. It's not something that I took advice on. It's just what we did from day one, and we've just took that. So I think the raw part of it is where the success comes from. So rather than it be staged, so we have a lot of people.
It's the shock impact of people seeing the side of someone, the side of the roof that fell off.
But I think a lot of people can relate, because if you have brought a new build house like I did,
millions of people,
there's loads of little bits that piss you off, and actually it's quite therapeutic knowing that you're not the only person to have had a.
My friends just bought their first house, a new build, and I popped over there and I was snagging it. I was snagging all the painting work, and I do it everywhere. Even like in hospitals, in pubs, the wallpapering's normally terrible in pubs and things
so how does it work? Someone contacts you and says, I'm in the process of buying a house, or is it I've just bought it?
Both. So in the process, so today's example, we took bookings today for August, September, April. So the process would be whether you're buying a new property or you've bought a property or you've been in it for less than 2 years.
Right.
Contact us. We will then take some details of your property and your name, address, and some particular details off. We will enter it into our system then. That will generate a date if you're already in the property, so for the next available inspector to come to you. If not, we will schedule a slot within a predicted month of your completion. And then once you get your completion date, let us know. And then obviously there's only so many slots in a month that we can allocate. Yeah. You've got your slot. We can do as you please with that slot up and down until we get you. Once the booking has taken place, we arrive at the property then, spend around 3.5-4 hours. 3.5-4 hours at the property, gathering the information, using all the tools that we need to do, taking all the photographs and stuff like that. Once that's complete, then the inspector will finish off the report, write all the information on it, so all the standard and regulation breaches to the warranty provider's build mark, as well as the quality issues that he's seen. That then will go to the office first thing in the morning, where there's a technical team in the office then who will look at the report, add any technical details that they need to add, what the tolerances are and what they should be and stuff like that. Once that's done, a proofreader then will get the report a couple of minutes later. He will read through the report just to ensure that what we're saying is correct and everything's in its right location. So the first picture we take is a picture of the front of the house. We label all the windows as we see fit, and then inside then will coincide to them windows. So he just makes sure that the route that we take around the property, that we've taken around the property coincides with the pictures. Once that's happened, then an email sent to say the report's finalised, and we're going to send it to you.
It's a really thorough process.
I mean, I'd never heard of you know, I bought a couple of new builds and never ever heard of that before. So that's
crazy.
That's another thing.
So
isn't it?
they've got their report now, and then they then take that to the developer and say, right, I've had this report, an independent report. This is what's wrong. I want you to fix it.
Yeah.
Or I'm not buying the house.
No.
Or,
So most people, more often than not, they have to have completed on the property.
right.
And then we come in after they get the keys. However, in March, there's something called the new Home Ombudsman. They're coming into play in March, where there's an accreditation now for certain snagging companies that will allow them to go into the property before completion. All developers have come on board and signed to say, yeah, they're happy to do that. There's a new Homes Quality Board then who have come up with a checklist, if you like, that the snagger then has to abide by once he's in that property before completion. Then the developer then will set about fixing things before the property's being completed and exchanged. Normal snagging that we would do anyway can continue after that, and for people that are already in their property. So any new properties now going forward, once the new Home Ombudsman has signed and sealed, then
You'd think some of these house builders would be employing you before they sign off on site.
So we've had companies come to us and offer things, you know, for us to do X amount of properties and work for them. And you know, we had one today come to us asking for stickers for windows, to say that, you know, they agree with what we're doing, because the new Home Ombudsman, they agree with what we're doing. What we do is great. So, you know, if you're going to get this done, use this company, because we believe what they're saying is a good report, and, you know, we'll use them. And after we've done that, then the sticker would go in the window to say that we've independently inspected the property. It's now to the standard that we believe it should be, and, you know, you can live happily ever after, really.
And if they've bought the house and moved in, have they got a certain time period where they can?
Yeah, so everybody with a new property has a 2-year warranty.
Right, okay.
That's with the developer, and after that, then it's normally a 10-year warranty. Then the 10-year warranty is a structural warranty, so there's a lot more complex and there's a lot more things that go with the 10-year warranty. But yeah,
what's one thing then that most home buyers overlook that you could, if anybody's listening and they're going to be buying a house themselves or a new build in the future, what's one thing that or a couple of things that you'd tell them to look out for buying it?
To check the property?
Check the property, or there might be something in the small print
it's
where...
It's got to be fake wheat vents, isn't it? Yeah. It's made us famous.
The fake wheat vents and the... what was the other one?
The air
with
bricks.
The brick.
The air brick. Yeah. So that was my particular video that I'd seen. And they hid the original air brick under the stones. Yeah. And I thought, what's this? When you pull it out, it's not there. It's just it's cheating, isn't it? So
the thing that always amazes me is when you highlight certain things, you just think what is going through that person's head. Like, I know obviously you want to go for a fag or you want to go for your food or go home, but it's just...
But you know what? I can't understand on a daily basis is... Just use a painter because you sat next to me. So
when you're painting your Instagram.
When you're painting, you're painting the arc-shape, lovely, and you get to this leg and you're like, boss, I've all finished here. Where's the next one? I'm done. You know, because you think no one's going to see it. You know, the arc-shape that goes behind the door or something like that. I can't get people's mindset of why they would do that. No. And when you put the door handles on, you put one screw in it and put the cap on it. That'll do. I don't get it. You've got 6 screws in your hand. Put 6 screws in. It
was the door hinge one that I watched on TikTok, and they had different door hinges, and literally where obviously they've like, you know, the gaps.
Massive gaps. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but someone's gone tidy. I'll do. Yeah. I'm off. Where's the next one?
But the thing, I don't get it. When I was thinking about this,
I don't get it.
But is it pride, or is it they're not given the time to complete? Are they being pressured to get onto the next build, or
I'd say
are they not trained properly?
I'd say it's a bit of both, and on certain aspects of the build, it's down to knowledge. Even knowledge of the site manager, I would say, because I've met many site managers in my time, and a lot of site managers have challenged us in the past, and you know they come with useless information.
But do you find that some of the site managers never? Obviously, you trained as a carpenter. Do you find some of the site managers never actually done a trade, so they don't understand?
Yeah, so I think look, it's not all site managers. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that some site managers they know the process to build a property, so they know the slab, the walls, floor, roof. I mean, they know the process, but they don't know how to do it to the regulations that's needed. And I don't think they don't do the checks that they need to do. So, you know, if I was building my own house, I would want to be checking that property at certain stages properly, not just walk in and go, well, actually the doors are in, That one sinks in. Right, tidy. Next, let's move on to the painting example.
That's why I won't do new builds.
Stay away. It's not great.
You will end up on it.
But the thing
But
I
that's why I
don't
won't, because
understand.
they just want you to just tosh it out quick
Yeah,
and just
and
chuck it on and go, and they just don't care. Whereas I'm a perfectionist in what I do, and I just couldn't.
It's the only way to be.
I couldn't allow myself to do it
To
to
put your
that
name
low
to-
standard.
put
No,
your name
I
to
couldn't
it.
put my name to that standard. No
But as a
way.
tradesperson, the job satisfaction you get is from standing back and looking at what you've done,
Yeah, exactly.
and thinking, yeah, I've done a good job. And I find, especially when I'm doing something that's a bit more involved, like say a bathroom suite or a boiler job, regular intervals during the day, you stand back and you look at what you've done, and you're thinking, right, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. And you go, there's things going through your head like what I need to do next, and everything you have to get done has to get done.
But you know what? I think it's site mentality though. So the way you guys are saying you're perfectionists and you look at job satisfaction, I believe that if you went into site work and that was your only job, you would soon end up like the rest of them, because that's the site mentality that I see every day on site with
Yeah,
people. It's a joke, it's a laugh, let's get it, let's finish early.
Yeah, we used to do site jobs, Easter holidays and summer holidays, and that was enough for me, because it's repetitive work.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's all the same, and we did have like the banter's top class on those kind of jobs. Everyone has a laugh.
Yeah, and that's.
But still,
that's
because
exactly
I was still self-employed and they were employing me, I was working to what, a level that I was happy with. But I can just imagine these guys on sites, they are pressured, and because it's not their company,
yeah, it's not their
they
name. It's
don't
not their
really
company.
care.
And I just see that when you start the new site and you take your carpenters as the example to the site, everyone's keen, everyone's happy, everyone wants to do a good job, everyone gets settled, everyone gets complacent, and the further you go down the line, the worse you get.
Yeah.
And when you get to the end, it's an hell of a mess. And
I dread to think about that then, because one of my houses, the last one I bought, which was a new build, that was one of the first ones to get done. So God knows what the last ones are like.
I see it. I see it firsthand when I was a contracts manager. I see it forever getting rid of carpenters because they've let themselves go with their pride in the work. They got to go. But I think as a tradesman's boss, as a carpentry boss, for example, they get put under pressure for times and handovers and certain things like that. And you're relying on other people. So, if you were a plumbing boss, you're a painting boss. If you wasn't on the tools yourself and you had tradespeople working for you, you're relying on them to do the job that you want. So if you're
That's
under,
why I struggle to take on people to work for me.
Exactly.
because
So if you're under pressure to
I'm
get a
forever
house
snagging
over,
their work.
yeah, exactly. And if you're under pressure to get a house finished, and you think, right, Joe Bloggs here, he'd be finished in 3 days, and on the third day he don't turn up for work, and he's got a day and a half's work left, and you can't get there, and that's what happens. And then he leaves, he quits, and you're under pressure to get someone else. You can't find anyone. You then look at agencies and people who are not properly painters, and they'll do it, and then you just this downhill spiral, and that's pretty much what happens on a daily basis.
I mean, obviously, we talk about giving advice to other tradies on here. What would you say then to developers if you were to give them some advice to stop some of the shit that goes?
Implement a professional snagging company as part of the build, 100%.
I mean, have you ever thought about offering your services to developers where as soon as they start a development, obviously you could stick somebody that you've trained and put them on that development and they oversee the whole... Not site manage it, but obviously every time.
But you could do it as almost like a mystery shop kind of thing. You could say, right, we're randomly going to go into a handful of your houses. We're not going to tell you which ones, and then we'll report back to you. Yeah,
I mean, at the very start, when we first started, we spoke to a developer who I didn't get on with at the time, but I respect him as a person because he does the job he says he's going to do, and I offered that sort of service to him. And he said, although the answer come back to me saying, although I believe that your business will benefit the company, I pay my site managers and contract managers alike to do the job you're offering, which is true. That's what they get paid to do. They get paid to build that property, manage that property, and make sure it comes out at the end as a quality product. And that's what they're doing.
But clearly they're not doing it. Otherwise you wouldn't have a job, would you?
No, exactly. No, they're not. Yeah, and I said, you and me both know that's not happening. However, that's your business structure. That's what you have to have in place. Yeah. And I respect your answer. But
one thing I will say is if you hear somebody talking Welsh on your site, you better shit yourself.
Run. Come for a
Better
selfie.
shit yourself. And he's driven 3 hours as well. He's going to be pissed. I'm telling you, and your wee poles aren't wee poles. You'd be weeping. That's all I'm going to say to you.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go over to Mr. PB Plumber, because apparently you've got a gag of the day for us, haven't you, Pete?
I have, yeah. Take it away.
There's one I recorded earlier.
So a bloke goes into a bar and orders 25 shots of whiskey. So the barman lines them up, all 25, and he downs each and every one. The barman says to him, "Why 25 shots of whiskey?" He says, "I'm celebrating my first blowjob." So the barman pours another one, puts it on the counter and says, "There you go, mate." And he said, "Nah, if I can't get the taste out of my mouth after 25, another one's not going to do it." Just checking, can I ask you, this won't be included, can I ask you if you would buy a new build, or would that harm your, because obviously you want people to buy new builds because then you can do reports.
No, but you can still be honest on that, because there's always going to have to be
Yeah, but I don't
new
need to
build.
feel uncomfortable. And,
No, look, I probably would buy a new build because I can't be asked to do the work on an old build, and that's the truth of it. So I wouldn't even put a shelf up because I can't be bothered. So
Well, he'd have no problem, because he'd be like, well,
this is how bad things are, right? So we got an office and we bought all this fancy furniture and desks and everything like that. We employed a carpenter to come and put the desks together. And me, my business partner, and our number one guy, we're all carpenters. Like, we ain't doing that. And that's
You've
what would happen.
changed, you have. You've
That's what would
changed.
happen. That's what
Fame's
would
gone to
happen
his head.
in an old build. I'd be like, I ain't putting a door on there. Just have a shit with no door on.
See what happens.
That's what I would do, you know?
See what happens when you're TikTok famous.
That's it,
See
yeah.
what happens, mate.
What happens?
doesn't
Come
even
in
tie his
and-
own shoelaces.
I ain't
in.
doing that.
Come in and build my desk.
Get me a drink.
And hold on a minute. It's out. I love that. Because we asked Charlie, didn't we, when we had him on? So Charlie Mullins, the Pimlico Plumbers guy, and I said to him, so if your shitter broke now, would you go and fix it? He was like, nah.
It's the last thing I want to do, you know what I mean?
I'd just call
It's
someone
like painting my house.
in.
I've had bare plaster for
like
3 years.
you, wasn't it?
Well, yeah.
It's just what I
I've had
mean,
bare
though.
plaster for 3 years
I'm just like,
because I just
can't
had
be
no
bothered.
time, and I can't be bothered. Yeah,
I
but I
ain't
would
got
never
the time
have.
either, but
I'd never have anyone else in my house doing it though,
Yeah.
because
My,
I'd be on their back like.
Yeah,
behind
You
them.
were like a backseat driver, but for painting and decorating.
Yeah, I would.
So the tap in my bathroom, the basin tap, was dripping from the underneath into the cupboard below. So I fixed that.
with a cup.
No, I actually fixed
I'll sort
it.
that next year.
I fixed that bit, and then when I turn the water back on, the water now sprays upwards out of the top, and that's been doing that for about 3 months now.
Good fix.
I will fix it eventually.
He's too busy in the gym, though. That's his, that's his
I haven't
thing.
got time for that, man.
Leaky taps.
I got time for plumbing.
Fuck that. Love that. So
Fastest lap?
let's go for the fastest lap.
Start your engine. And the winner is...
Absolutely shocking.
It is really shocking, to be
Should we
fair.
try and get you to do it with your Indian, Scottish, Welsh accent?
I would offend so many people with that impression.
You'd never be allowed in Carmarthen
Wouldn't be allowed in
or
Wales,
Hereford.
Scotland, Pakistan, anywhere in India. My accent, whatever country I do, starts off nothing like what I'm trying to do, but always ends up Indian-ish.
Indianish.
Scouse Indian, like.
I try.
Scouse Indian. I love that. And now we're going to head on over to the darts, where we have a little competition, and you two are going to go up against each other. to
Final thoughts.
Just want to get into your final thoughts.
So think about the people watching. If you've got any kind of inspirational message for them, or if you just want to plug your page, your social media pages, any advice for anyone, now's the time.
I mean, even like future plans, because obviously you've it's trebled in size, isn't it, in a year with social. Like, so even like future plans or things that you'd like to do, whether that's take somebody on, then critique their work, whatever it is that you...
I've done that already.
Have you?
Yeah, and I just go around snagging them.
She turns into you.
My best friend, Cliff, when he's cutting in the colour, well, I don't actually let him cut in the colour. I make him go so far to the top.
If you're listening, mate, I feel sorry for you.
Cliff, man up, will you? Jesus.
Go to the edge, Cliff. That's why you're called Cliff. Go to the edge, mate. Come on, Cliff.
No, I don't let him go to the top.
Wow.
Poor
Cliff is whipped.
So yeah, anything else apart from telling Cliff off that you've got for the future?
I really do want to train people up. Obviously, I can't advertise that. I just want girls to work for me, but I would like...
What about, like, even... Because you thought about that, didn't you, go into colleges or even, like... Because one thing with TikTok and YouTube is you can become, in essence, a teacher of doing stuff like you walking around and saying, these are the types of things. Like your checklist, your actual checklist on your website, you could do a visual checklist for people on YouTube or something like that. So teaching people how to...
Yeah.
What's your social handle?
@Jen the Decorator.
Standard.
Surprising.
Yeah. Bit different. You know.
And you're on?
Instagram, Twitter. I've got my Facebook business page, but nothing really fun on there. Just work pics now.
And you're now on TikTok.
I'm now on TikTok.
Is it @Jen the Decorator on TikTok as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so make sure you go and follow all your miserable gits listening and watching.
See if we get some of my followers to follow you.
Yeah. But I just don't know how to do it yet. My kids actually banned me from it when TikTok sort of first come out. They was like,
my kids banned me from it as well. These ones over here, they banned me from it.
They was like, no, it's not for you. I'm like, but why not? No.
But you know who it is for? Cliff and Mars.
Yeah, they'd be a great pair there.
They're going to love this.
What a duo. Like Ant and Dec, Cliff and Mars.
Yeah.
The Unfinished Painters.
Oh,
cool,
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
There's a whole new TV show there.
All they do is fill in and...
Yeah, and just mess about. Don't bother finishing it.
I've got a few more jobs to quote at the big manor house. I'll get them on there.
I like it. What about yourself then, John? What's the future for your business? What would you...
The future's huge. And, you know, it is huge. We're growing remarkably fast.
Yeah. Have you got any plans? Is there anything where you've got like an aim set for...
Yeah, of course. So, you know, we've got 500,000 followers we're aiming for. Build the YouTube channel because that's growing very fast. As a company and a business, you know, by the end of the year, we're looking to have 2 or 3 more inspectors working 5 days a week.
Yeah. How many inspectors have you got now?
6.
6.
Yeah, so 6 inspectors. However, we use an app that allows the inspectors now to do 2 inspections a day. So really it's like 12. So when we first started, we based our business on an inspector doing 1 inspection a day. But yeah, so inspectors now can do 2 a day. We have got 1 animal who does 3 a day when he wants. So he's like an animal. He's not a Cliff. He's an animal. He finishes the job, you know what I mean? He gets shit done. But yeah, he's an animal. So yeah, build the business that way. We pride ourselves on advice.
Are you national?
Yeah, UK-wide. Yeah,
UK-wide.
So it's up to Scotland and down to Devon and stuff like that. So we do pride ourselves on after sales and support for people, even if they hadn't had an inspection with us. So we're quite open to people giving us a ring and asking some advice and questions. If we can, we'll help. Yeah. So, you know, we set the business up, me and Lee set the business up because of to make a change. It wasn't all about money. So if we take ourselves away from that, you know, we shouldn't be in business. So yeah, just more advice, build our business and create a social media monster, really.
Like it.
Ambitious.
Anything from you as well?
Do you want to update on my cold showers?
Go on then.
3 minutes now.
Pete likes to have a cold shower in the morning.
Started, what am I on? Day 50.
Can I ask why though? What's the point?
And cut ribbons. We found out 2 useful things about
His name's Cliff, is it?
There's lots to... There's lots of reasons: health benefits, muscle recovery, mental.
All right, I'll do.
You lost me a muscle.
Really good.
3 minutes shower would have done.
Really good for your mental health, and it's like a challenge at the start of the day. And once you've done it, you feel amazing, and then
Do you know what?
beg to differ on that
Do you
one,
know
mate.
what? 2023. I want to hear you've had a 3-minute cold shower.
Fucking no chance. I don't see the point in it. Absolutely pointless.
Absolutely shocking.
Why would you even start that?
Oh,
You get them go, "Come on, I'll have a cold shower."
Well,
Start my day. It's challenging. I'm like, fuck it, I'll have 5 more minutes. No shower and go straight to work. It's easier.
well, watch. There's a guy called Wim Hof. Just Google that. Have a watch and just see what
Wim
you think.
Hof.
I'll do it tonight.
Do it when you get back to the hotel. But it's just something I thought it was a challenge for me because I've tried it before and I couldn't do it. So
But what's the challenge? Where's the challenge end?
So if you do something for 63 days, every day for 63 days, it becomes habit and your body gets used to it, and then it doesn't become hard and it's not
yes,
hard.
no. The minutes in the shower, where does that end? Does it, like, that's enough now?
Well, the sweet spot's 2 minutes, but I wanted to see if I could get to 3, and I've done 3 minutes because the thing with me is once I've done something, I want to beat it the next time. Like this morning at swimming, I wanted to beat what I did last time at swimming, and that's always I have little goals that I aim for. So
Can I be in here for hours now? 63-minute shower this morning, freezing.
It'd be like one of them free
But the thing
divers,
is,
you know?
like I was telling Alex earlier, when I did the 2 minutes, you get out and then you sit and you just let your body naturally warm back up. But now I'm doing 3 minutes. It takes a lot longer to warm up.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Can't think of
But
anything
I'm
worse.
enjoying it, and it's a challenge for me. It's something I'm doing. I'm going to do it for 63 days, and then after that, I'm hoping it'll just become.
And then you're going to continue doing it?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Pointless.
Absolutely shocking. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on. I realise obviously you had a long journey. You came from Hereford.
3 hours.
Walked from Hereford. Down the road.
Had a cold shower and I ran down there.
Took me an hour and 3 minutes.
Cracked me up. So yeah, thank you very much for both coming on the show.
No worries.
Love obviously both the socials and stuff like that. So big thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks. It's good.
Done. It took us 20 minutes to get into it, but we got there.
I need a wee.
I know, yeah, I do as well, to be fair. Oh, mate, you were crap. I couldn't even, I was in tears, actual tears.